What we're going to go over today is the email quote system inside the iVacation Online vacation rental software. To set this up, just log into your unit. So we're going to go ahead and log into the account and navigate to the first property. There's going to be a link on the left-hand side called Email Quote, and that's where we're going to go set up our different emails that we're going to send back to people when they're asking about our property. So I've navigated into the property. I'm over here on Email Quote, and we're going to pull this up. Inside of here, there's going to be 3 different sections. Also, we're going to be able to set up where the email comes from. The purpose of this is you wouldn't necessarily want all your emails coming from notifications@ivacationonline.com. You're going to want to personalize it. This will help with recognition. The people will recognize if they're interacting with you and see your email that it's you, and also may help with spam to eliminate so many emails coming from a business address. We also can set up the subject. This is very important for the guest to recognize that it's something that they're currently interested in. So set up something with maybe your property name, your location, so they recognize it and will open up the email. So inside of here we have 3 different areas. 2 of them are going to be dealing with emails that come to you. The other one's going to be dealing with the guests that visit the site. First off, when we receive an email or phone call and we want this person to book the property, we have a message here for the property being available and we want them to book. So I generate this myself. I created a very short and comprehensive message. I'm going to answer the most frequently asked questions that is asked to me through an email and phone call. So when I send this email out, I can cover as many bases as possible. I'm telling them that that time is available. I'm telling them if they want to see more pictures or go to my listing, they can go to my website here. I'm going to tell them that the Green Week is available to click on it to book online. I have a particular rule about Saturday to Saturday rentals. I'm going to let them know about that. So if they're asking me about some odd dates, I've addressed it here with this statement right here. And then also the location's always a big question, so I'm going to let them know I got a Google map on my listing and they can look at that if they need to see where we're located. Other than that, I'm just giving them a message that it's available and please book it online, and it'll generate a quote right below this message. The next message is the unavailable message. So if somebody asks about a particular week and I'm maybe available the week after that, I will click on the week that's available and then I'll include the unavailable message, meaning I'm sorry we're booked the time that you asked about, but we have something very similar, very close to that time. Check it out here. Again, I can put my email for that property, but I'm also going to let them know I got other properties that they can look at and go to my main website here. So again, I'm doing multiple things inside of this message to get the person where I need them to be to book with me as quickly as possible. The third message is the visitor message. This is going to entail somebody being on your listing and maybe they want to send this quote from themselves to somebody else. It's very common for people to travel together with their families or friends, and they may want that person to see exactly what it's going to cost, or they want that person to book it online. So this is a message that I understand 2 people are communicating with each other, but again, I want to give them the listing if they need it and tell them exactly how to go about that and some frequently asked questions on Saturday to Saturday or how to exactly book this property online. So now that we went over the setup, let's go back out and look at the live site and see how this interacts with the live site. The first thing is, let's go over the visitor aspect of this. So if a visitor is just cruising around, they have not contacted you, and they're going to navigate to your property and see a green space is available, they're going to click on the green dates to generate this listing page here. When this is generated, they may want this particular page to get to somebody so that they can either book it for them or see the exact details of the transaction. So before we click this email, this quote, I want to show you that this can be customized. Maybe they choose the cancel for any reason policy on the insurance instead of the all seasons travel plan. So this will change. It's changed here. And maybe they have a coupon that you gave them or they saw an ad with your coupon on it, and they come up with a very specific quote. So now you see that this is all changed. But when we click email this quote, this email is going to be a direct representation of what they just had on that page. So if they choose pool heat or a pet fee or anything that you have available to them, it's generating a quote for that. It'll even give them the coupon code if they need to use that when they're booking that online. So now this person is going to send this maybe to their relative or friend. They put their email here, but they can also put a message here, and they can explain why they're sending it to them. It's a personal message from that person to the other person. But just below that is my pre-filled message that they cannot manipulate in any way. So I get to tell them specifically what I want them to see. Again, I'm going to keep it short and sweet so they can read it and not be bogged down by a bunch of copy. So when they click this email is going to go between the two people. I'll get a copy of it to my from email that I put into the system earlier. So I'll see that somebody's circling and asking about that week. I could even follow up with them because I'll then have their email address. Let's look at the probably the most common ways that this email quote system will be used. Here we have an email from VRBO, and as we know, if you have a vacation rental, you're probably advertising on many different sources. You get many phone calls and many emails, but you need to respond as fast as you can. So this email is asking about the particular week that we generated this for, and they have some questions. They want to know the total cost, is it available, etc. So there's two ways I can respond to this. One is when I generate this, I click on, let's say we're going to use this same quote here, so it's very specific. I click on email this quote. Well, see, first of all, this is the visitor message. So let's back up a little bit. To get to the other messages, you have to first log into your system. You don't have to go to the particular property, just simply log in. Now our system and the computer knows that you're the owner of this property, and it's going to give you more messages. As you see, now we have some options up here. Here's the available message, here's the unavailable message, and here's the visitor message. But for this example, and I can toggle between them depending on how I want to respond to this email. For this example, I want to respond that I'm available and I want them to book it. So now I can simply copy this email right here, and I can put this into this page, and I'm going to send them a direct email from this page. And I click this send button, this will send this email out. This is exactly what the person would get right here, and it'll get it from the other email address that I have already loaded into the system, not from iVacation Online. So this is a very direct way to respond to this person to let them know exactly what's going on with the pricing, and they get an exact quote. When they see this here and they click on this button, it'll generate that booking for that person. So let's look at another way that you might want to respond using the same system. So now that this email has come in, you can hit reply, come in here, and we call this copy or scrape. You just simply copy the message here, and we're going to go right back here and paste it and put it right into this email. Now I also have some more options in here as well. I can type here. So I can add a message here, anything I want. Maybe they ask me questions that I didn't have answered with my standard message. Maybe something very specific, like where's the closest kids restaurant? So I might not have that in my information, but I could type it here. Also, I can type that over here. And this will pre-populate it even before I copy it or send it. It's going to appear here in just a second. So you have some options to make it very customizable, but the better job that you do with setting up your emails to answer many of the most common questions that you have, the better off you're going to be and not have to end up typing so much copy and information to them. So as you see, it does appear here. So I could have copied this, or if I send it from here, it would be in that message as well. So let's just say that this email is good. I've answered the questions that they have about I am available. Here's the total quote. And this is what they're going to see when they open it up. They're going to see this exact quote with this coupon and this insurance. And then when they click on this page here, this is what they're going to land on, exactly this page here. The reason we're skipping the listing is this person has already emailed you specifically about your property. They've looked online for probably days or hours. They want this specific property. They want to book it, or they have very good questions about it. I want to get them to the booking page as fast as possible. I don't want to distract them and send them anywhere else. Although in the message I do allow them to go to my listing if they choose to. They probably have already been there or seen all my photographs on another website. They're sold, they just want to book the property. So we're going to dump them when they click this button onto the booking page so as fast as possible they can book this property. So all you would have to do at this point is hit send this email. The advantages of doing it this way, the copy and scrape back into the original email, would be twofold. Number one, they're going to get an email back from the source that they sent. So if they're on VRBO and they email you, you're going to send it right back to them. They'll be familiar with that, maybe have a higher chance of getting that open, and probably a little bit less likelihood of being caught in spam because they emailed you first and you're sending it back. So you could go to different properties that you own. As long as you're logged into your account, you're going to have access to this email function and different messages. And it's just a way to get answers back to your guest as fast as possible so they can book your property as fast as they can. So good luck with setting up your messages, and let us know if you need any help.